Hello, friends. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, guys. Super excited to be here. And thank you all for being here. Evening time and all dark and all. It's so funny. Every time I do an evening Zoom, guys, I look at my lighting and I go, I need to fix this lighting. And then I forget until the next time. And then I go, I have my ring light, but it's kind of spooky looking, isn't it? Spooky. My little daughter Sophie used to say smooky, so it's smooky. All right, guys, thank you for being here. I am going to be trucking on through, so I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm recording. I'm going to be live on Instagram over here. It's going to be like an over-the-shoulder look. I'm going to keep you guys all muted, and you can have your cameras on or off if you want, whatever works for you. I like cameras on a little bit so I can see that it's resonating and stuff. So that'd be lovely. So I'm not talking to myself. Hi. It's good to see you all. And then at the end, I'm going to open it up for questions. So pick my brain. Yeah, that's what we're here for. I'm going to be asking for lots of interaction into the chat. So throw in your stuff into the chat as I ask you. Sound good? Yay. So the first thing I'm going to say to you guys is throw into the chat what industry you're in. All right, what industry you're in, so that I can, as we're going through it, I mean, I know some of you guys, of course I do, but so that I go through to make sure that I'm giving actual tips for your industry. Does that make sense? I want to make sure that I am, and I'm going to hit the go live on Instagram. And let's kick on. Alrighty, let me just fix that. Let me just fix that. Okay, I see the chats coming in. Go to women yourselves. Is it all girls? Is it all women here? Always is. Always is. Maybe it's all the pink in my thing, and maybe it's the fact that I talk about helping business women make more money in their business. Maybe that's why all the women come. Just finishing dinner and have time on it. Absolutely, absolutely. Art teacher and artist. Ooh, lots of ideas for art teachers. Leanne, also doing Summer, so you'll see me on off screen. Absolutely. Balloons. Hi, Lucy. Deirdre Carr, color drops. Oh, fab. Yes, earrings. Art, fashion, and homewares. Caroline, amazing. Professional organizer. Jenny, I need you in my life. Decluttering and organizing home and workspaces in person and offline. Oh, Lord. I'm your poster girl. I'm your like perfect customer. Hey, Denise, floristry. Yes. Hi, Karen. Mindset and empowerment coach. Love it. Love it, Louise. Of course you are. I hope you're feeling better, by the way. Leanne McGrath, online business manager. Yes, you are. Sharon Florist. Girls, amazing to have you all here. Thank you for being here. If anybody is watching on Zoom, on Instagram. I'm over on Zoom and the link is in my story. So come join us. Tonight, we're going to talk about creating your first online course or program. Okay, so welcome. Grab a notepad and pen, put your phone on Do Not Disturb, and let's get ready to take action. Before we dive right in, I want to get something straight, guys. So I want to quickly touch on what success looks like for you. Some of you guys might have heard me speak before, and you might have heard me talking about this before. It's super important. It's super important that we get clear on what our goals in our business are. I'm working with a couple of coaches, guys. I've a few coaches, 3 coaches currently in my life. But one in particular that I'm working with is in New Zealand. Her name is Liz Benny. And she has us really delving into what the heck we want, because it's so hard, because we're out there and we're going, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Hi guys, come on over to Zoom if you want. The link is in the stories. So if we're all the time, it's like jumping in your car. And I know this is an analogy people use all the time, but it is literally like jumping in the car and driving and not knowing where the feck you're going. You know, how many times have you felt that you're coasting in your business, that you're kind of going, oh yeah, you know, 1st of January, oh, here's my goals, I'm going to make my million this year, you know, and you get to like June and you go, oh Jesus, I'm not doing very well in that million, you know, and you're like, what the hell? But there was no plan, there was no idea, there was no breakdown, there was no. So what I like you to do, and what I talk about doing, is like pick the figure, but then reverse engineer it. Like, is there a physical way possible for you to reach a million in 1 year? And I'm using a million for easy maths because it's the one that people pick out of the sky. But it could be 100,000. It could be 50,000. Let's say that you want to reach your first 100,000 in business, right? I did my first 100,000 in business on my own in 2020 in COVID. Was it 2020? Yeah, 2020. And it happened because I had put it in place. I put systems and processes in place, and I was charging enough to reach that. If you're charging, lower amounts, and you're seeing people one-to-one, and you're charging like 50 quid a session and stuff like that, it's going to be a lot harder to reach that 100,000. So does that make sense? And for you, that figure might be 50,000. It might be 60,000. It might be 30,000. It might be 200,000. Whatever it is, we've got to look at it as a whole and reverse engineer it. But we've also got to be very, very careful, because money isn't what equals success. For me, for a long time in my business, I hung my hat on the revenue that the business was bringing in. I mentioned in 2020, when I reached, I think it was actually 120 grand that I brought in that year, I badly burnt out. Like, I mean, badly, really, really, really badly. The last 2 months of 2020, I was like, oh, in a black hole, literally. So it took me a while to get back from that. And when I did, it realized that, Jesus, it wasn't just about the money. Because if I have money coming in the bank, but I'm not there for my kids and my family, what the feck is the point of that? Yeah. So success for me equals this: health, happiness, and freedom. Now, to have the freedom to live the life that I want, of course, money matters. A lot of us are heart-centered entrepreneurs. Who here would identify as a heart-centered entrepreneur? A lot of us do. A lot of us are like, yeah, I want to help people, and I want to, look after people and all of that. So what happens when we're like that, sometimes we don't charge enough, but we can help more people. We can look after more people. We can look after our families better when we are more profitable. So business is hard, guys. Being an entrepreneur is hard. Being a business owner is hard. But this is what we tell ourselves over and over again. But what if it didn't have to be? What if it didn't have to be so hard? What if you could build the business of your dreams and live your dream life? Like, for years, we've been shown that career woman. Who knows this movie? The Devil Wears Prada, and your woman, the big boss is a wagon, isn't she? She's like, oh, get my coffee and do this. But isn't that what Hollywood has shown us for years? Like, the career woman who has no kids, or who else has kids but ignores them, or, it's been totally separate, hasn't it? For so many years, that we've been taught that you can't have everything. We've been taught that, career women and successful women are mean and heartless. Absolute bullshit. Sorry, but it is, It's no wonder we think that we have to sacrifice our time and our families to build a profitable business. It's no wonder that we think that we have to work so hard, work our fingers to the bone to have a profitable business, because it's known as hard work. And even some coaches like me, like business coaches, we hear it all the time, and they're pushing the hustle culture on us. You've got to work 80 hours a week. No, you absolutely don't. We get to decide how we do business. We get to decide how to show up. Guys, does that resonate? Does that sound like, do you get what I mean by that? Give me a yes in the comments if you're with me, and if you think that like resonates. Hi, Jeanette, how you doing? Because for me in corporate, my background is corporate, and for me, when I was in corporate, I very much felt this. I very much felt that I had to, work very hard. And for a long time in my coaching business, when I started my coaching business, I kind of thought that I felt imposter syndrome, and I felt that I possibly maybe wasn't doing a good job. And it didn't matter how many good results I got, or how many good results my clients got, and they said, oh my God, Denise is amazing. I kind of went, because it didn't feel like work. I felt like I was it was too easy. It's like, what the heck is this? I go on Zoom and I chat for a bit. That's it. Do I not have to go to their house and wash their car and clean out their garden and, cut their grass? Because I'm a hard worker. That's what was ingrained in me. But we get to decide how we show up, guys. We get to decide how we build our business. Absolutely. Yes, 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 yes. It's time for us to step up and claim what's ours. Step up and create the life that we want. How many of you would feel like that your family life suffers because you're too busy in the business? Because we get that a lot. Or you might feel guilty when you're working, guilty when you don't work. Now listen, I'm not over here on this pedestal thinking I've built all this perfect life and I'm all Miss Deadly, right? Now I am kind of deadly, right? But there I am, I'm not fully deadly. Because yesterday was St. Patrick's Day and I worked for like a lot of the hours of yesterday. But the reason why is because I'm going to Disney on Friday morning with the kids. So, you know, it swings and roundabouts. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows, but you do feel the guilt. Yeah, Leanne, you do feel the guilt. I even feel the guilt, right? This is actually awful. I feel guilty now because I'm in my office, which is at the back of the house. This is just a divider, like out of IKEA, as you can see, because this is an open plan room. There's another room there at the back, just there, and that's Luke where he plays his PS5. So Luke Horan, my 9-year-old, is now probably having withdrawal symptoms in the other room watching telly. His hands are probably still going like this with no device in his hand because he can't play his PS5 because mommy's working, and he's like fuming like a bull. I refuse to feel guilty because he needs some time off it. But we do, don't we? For the little things, we feel guilty, like every littlest thing. We've got it. Like I felt this deeply because it was me, but I kind of still do feel it. But I'm doing my best to not feel it as much, and I'm doing my best to build a life that I'm proud of, that my kids can look up to. Does that make sense? I went to an event in Orlando, and Ed Milet said, "You are neglecting your kids if you do not reach your potential." And that hit me because it's like, oh my God, like if I look at my girls and I tell them they can be, do, and have what they want, but then if I'm over here like working my fingers to the bone and, you know, not taking time off, not taking lunch breaks, not going on holidays, working weekends, what the fuck am I teaching my girls? You know, sorry. And my boy, of course, but you get me. So we've got to lead by example. We've got to make sure that we are. So many of us are settling for a life that is less than what we're made for. And I know this because I've been there and I'm still there. I've grown a 6-figure business and quite a healthy 6-figure business, but I know that there's more. Yes, I'm shooting for the millie. That 7-figure business. What's holding you back, guys? And what is holding us back? It's fear. Like, why do we think that we can't do it when we know we see somebody else doing it? We've got the fear of failure. We've also got fear of success. How many of you thought, well, what if I launch this and loads of people buy it? Or what if I go live on Instagram and everyone watches? Or what if I do a reel and I go viral? I remember in one of my groups called the Be Inspiring social media group, one of the lads in there, he was creating reels and he was doing all the stuff. And he rang me one Friday night, right? Really late at night. I think it was around 11 o'clock and my phone is ringing, right? And it was a lower end membership. Like he was paying me like 60 quid a month or something. So this guy's ringing my phone on a Friday night after paying 60 quid a month. And I was like, what the heck, Rooney is going on? Why is he ringing me? But he's never rang me before. So I just took a point. I said, right, I'll answer. It was Rob was his name, freaking out. My reel went viral. What the fuck am I gonna do? And I was like, yeah, that's my job done. No, that's a good thing. And he's like, no, I don't like it. Everybody's messaging me. My phone is blown up. I'm trying to watch telly. I was like, wow. So fear of success, yeah? There's the fear of showing your face, which we all have. And we've got to push through that. There's the fear of the tech. What if I press the wrong button? You know, what if I try to do this and I press the wrong button? And of course, there's fear of judgment. We get held back by this all the time. But I want to say to you guys that everybody here, I know, Natalie, it's good. Everybody here is an expert, right? I want you to like put your hand up if I can see you on Zoom, or give me a thumbs up in the thing and tell me you're an expert. Because if you can't first proclaim that you're an expert, how the heck is anyone else going to believe it? And I know a lot of you are sitting there going, oh, well, no, I'm not an expert, because you're one down the road. Now she's after doing such and such and she's more of an expert than me. I don't care about anyone else. We don't have any competition. Blinkers on. The only competition is ourselves. We are experts in what we do. We are experts in what we do. Yes, 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 yes. Love it, love it, love it. These are a bit slow with your yeses now. Come on. We're all experts. We are all experts in something. And we can all become an authority in something. But what's the difference? So this is something, my little tagline. And you know what? If you want to do me a favor, you could take a photograph of that or a screenshot and you could tag me on Instagram later on. I would be eternally grateful to say that you guys were here. But guys, Experts know things. I want this to settle in for you. Experts know things, but authorities are known for things. Does that make sense, guys? We want you to become the go-to within your industry. We want you to be the name on people's lips when they think of what it is that you're selling. We want you to be mentioned in rooms that you're not in. Oh, that's Denise, she'll do that for you. You know, that's Louise will do that for you. That's Deirdre will do that for you. That's Caroline. Does that make sense? We want to be known for something. And a lot of us are busy being the jack of all trades. Anybody feel like they're a little bit the jack of all trades? Just because we can do a lot of things does not mean we should. My background is traditional marketing. I built up a marketing agency pre-COVID, which was really successful. I built up another business, a party business not in the States, in Australia, sold that. I have sold businesses. I've had great successes. I've had a few massive failures. So there are a lot of things I know around business, around building online businesses, around marketing. I have had to realize that I've got to pull back and I've got to get more targeted on what I teach. So what I am becoming known for is teaching business women how to make more money in their business using all these free online tools. Does that make sense? I help business women grow their following and make more money. That's it. Yeah. I don't go into all the other side of stuff. So what are you known for? Authorities. We get invited on podcasts. Yeah. We get interviewed on the radio. We get invited to speak on stages. We make more moolah. Yeah. So how? By introducing extra streams of income. An authority prices accordingly. An authority does not price bargain basement. We price accordingly. We price our worth. We realize that we deserve it. Terrifying. I know, Deirdre. I know. I'm sorry. I got you. I'll mind you. But it is terrifying. But you know what? We are strong, independent women. Like, why not us? Do you know what I mean? Like, why not us? We're going to introduce extra streams of income. I'll never forget, right? Summer's Day, Luke is 9 now. So I was still breastfeeding. It was summer. I had decided that I was going to load up my phone with a load of different apps that I could run my business on. And I sat in the playground. The two girls were a bit older, obviously. They were on the slides and the swings. I was on a blanket sitting in the corner of the playground, feeding Luke. And I got a ping on my phone to say I just made a €47 sale. So my phone pinged, you just made €47. It may as well have been $4,000, guys, because I went, I fucking made it, you know? I cracked the code. I'm sitting in the playground with my brand new baby, feeding him, kids are there, and I just made 47 quid. Absolutely amazing. So since then, obviously that was 9 years ago. Since then, I've gone on to create more expensive items, of course, because no one's going to make their €1,000,000 or even their 100,000 off a €47 item. But the point was the system was there. Create it once and sell it over and over and over again. Does that make sense? Now, some of you have already launched, have done your own in-person workshops. Some of you have done in-person Zooms like I'm doing now. Some of you have created your own masterclasses. But imagine if you could make and record a series of masterclasses. Imagine if you could make and record a small course. Imagine if you could create your own 12-week coaching program so that you can teach one-to-many rather than just one-to-one. How cool would that be? Once the €47 product was sold, we were in business. Yeah? Now allow yourself to imagine this for a minute. So imagine yourself if you did not have to swap your time for money. For any of you who are business coaches, many of you are selling a product even or making a product or anything like that. Imagine if you could make sales and it didn't involve you having to turn up and actually do more work. So I want you to look at what I'm doing here. This is what I call a masterclass, right? I call them free masterclasses, can also be known as a webinar. And full disclosure, I will teach. And the last 10 minutes, I'll talk to you about my programs. Yeah, it's a way of me teaching and delivering value to you. The masterclass part of this, the teaching part of it, I could absolutely save the recording, create an unlisted YouTube video, send it out to my list or put it on my website and say, hey, do you want to buy my masterclass on creating your first online course or program? That's 50 quid. Create it once, sell it many. Does that make sense? Yeah, we've got to get more clever. We've got to get more clever on selling our knowledge, because what we know is worth more than what we do. So imagine if you can create something that can be sold while you sleep. Imagine if we could create something that could be sold while you're hanging out with your friends. Imagine if you could create something that gets sold while you're hanging out with your kids. Magic money. Yeah? I'm laughing, guys. Katie Horan, if you're watching on Instagram, you're dead. So my daughter, Katie, who's 12, is blowing up my WhatsApp. My phone is there. And you know the way the WhatsApp comes notification up at the top? And first of all, she starts with bruh, right? Or brew or bruh. This is what she's calling me lately, bruh, right? So bruh, please, right? Please. She's sending me, can I have TikTok? I'm 12. I'm like, no, Katie, you can't. Too funny. It's like, it keeps popping in. Okay, so indulge me here. Before we jump into how you're going to create your online course or program, I want you to indulge me, okay? This is my little mantra, and I'd like you guys to think this and feel this. I'm going to read it out. I'm going to like put my little hands in my heart. You guys can read along or do whatever you want to do, but I love this because it just fills me with a little bit of, So I am an authority in my industry. I am an expert in what I do. I will push aside my fears and grow the business that I deserve. I will do this while still staying true to my values. I will do this while building a better family life for myself, my kids, my partner. Does that make sense, guys? We're not in the business of building a business at the expense of anything else. All right? If you guys are watching on Instagram, come over to Zoom. The link is in my stories. I will do all of this because I deserve it. I deserve to have a business and life that I love. You see, a lot of us are not reaching that potential because we don't feel worthy, and that stings. But together we're going to fix it. Today I want to talk about money. Who here loves to talk about money? Or who here shies away from talking about money? Who here goes, when you say, what about if somebody says to you, oh, so like, how much would that service be? You go, I'll email you a proposal. Does anybody do that? Afraid to say the price over the phone? Afraid to like voice it to somebody? So a lot of us are hiding and shying away from talking about money. But I want you guys to start. Joan says I hide. Yeah, a lot of us do. And I did for years. I said to some of my authority builders earlier on a meeting, I said, if you don't price a job and then hide under your desk because you feel like it was a little bit expensive, well, then it was too cheap. Does that make sense? Your pricing shouldn't give you an icky feeling in your belly. Otherwise, they're too cheap. Karen says, I panic. Yeah. What if I told you that you could work less hours, but make more moolah? Of course you would want that, right? Would you want that? Give me a yes in the comments, guys. So I know that you're awake. I know that you're not watching Netflix. I know that you haven't left me. Give me a yes in the comments if you would want to make more money in less hours while I take a drink. Yes. Like who feckin' wouldn't, right? Would you be interested to know more? Okay, buckle up. Let me teach you how you can create your first or your next online course or program. In business, we need a product or a service to sell. We need somewhere to sell it, and we need customers or prospects to buy it. But most of us are leaving money on the table, guys. Most of us are needing money on the table. When it comes to dealing with customers, I want to change that. Yeah? So do you know the problem? I want you to put yourself in the mindset of your customer and think, okay, well, what problem would my course or program solve for my customers? If it feels aligned with you and you have an idea, pop it into the chat for me. If you want to write it in your books, or you want to just, if you're still working on ideas or whatever, but if you've got something firm in your head, throw it into the chat there. How to create and paint, absolutely. While you guys are doing that, I want to talk to you now about your customer journey. Why do people buy an online course or program? This is your customer on the left, okay? Sad face. They want to be the happy face. For a lot of us, when we try to sell an online course or program, we try to sell this bit down the bottom, the arrow. The arrow is the pathway that we take people from sad face to happy face. So the pathway, we're trying to sell it. People do not buy the pathway, do they not? They don't buy the roadmap, they buy the feeling. So they buy that smiley face. Does that make sense? Who can tell me what Colgate sell? I always say this. So those of you who've been to any of my classes know. Louise is laughing. Colgate sell smiles. They don't sell fucking toothpaste. Have you ever seen an ad for Colgate and it was just a picture of a toothpaste? No, it's always smiley, happy, white teeth. They sell the smile. They sell the outcome. They sell the feeling. I said to my florists the other day, I'm working with a lot of florists at the minute in my Show Up and Shine challenge for the florists. You're not selling flowers. You're just not. You're selling the feeling someone gets when they open the door and there's a guy standing there. I say delivery, that's very sexist, a guy, but somebody delivering the flowers. You're selling the feeling they get, like knowing they're loved, knowing they're appreciated. That's the feeling you get when someone gives you flowers, right? That's what we're selling. The flowers are the vehicle to make the person feel good and happy, to make the person feel loved. Get that into your head, guys. Stop trying to sell vehicles. The sad face is your customer's pain. The pathway is your system that you're going to take them through, and the happy face is the result. To sell your program, you need to sell this, the happy face. You are not selling this. I just realized I never fixed this slide, so sorry about that. It's a bit messy, but anyway, you're not selling this. This is the pathway. So let me kind of break this down for you. So my program, The Authority Builder, right? It is an online coaching program that teaches you how to make more money and grow your following. Okay, so that's the result. So you're going to grow your following. You're going to have more money in the bank. A lot of people sign up to my Authority Builder and then go, hang on a minute. What did I buy? Like, when's the meet? Is there meetings? Is there online? Because I don't sell the vehicle. The vehicle is we meet on Zoom once a week. There's online training, recorded training sessions that you can watch. There's downloadable worksheets that you can work through. There's one-on-one time. There's WhatsApp access. That's the vehicle. I don't sell that. I sell the outcome. The outcome is more followers and more money in less time. Buy back your time with systems. Does that make sense, guys? Can you see how that works? So a lot of you are selling that vehicle. So get away from that and start to sell the results. On Instagram said, great point. Yes. Go to the link in stories if you want to join on Zoom. So we want to make more money in our businesses, right? Everybody wants to make more money, yeah? We need to make more offers. We need to solve more problems. This is Myron Golden, and he said, you do not have a money problem, you have a sales problem. We need to solve more problems for more customers to make more money. We need to create extra streams of income within the business so that we are not hinged on one stream. I have several streams of income in my business, but pre-COVID, I really only had one. I really only had one stream of income. I had an online marketing agency where I would do your Instagram, your Facebook, your TikTok, all the things. So let's say let's say Caroline over there, who's a very busy woman, let's say Caroline was really busy and didn't want to do her Instagram. And she was like, Denise, can you help me with this? And I go, yeah, I'll do your Instagram. I'll grow that for you. So I'm growing Caroline's Instagram while she's off doing the thing. Perfect, right? So that was my social media and web design agency. I built it up to 6 figures actually, and it was doing fantastically. I had staff, I had an office, and then COVID hit. And Leo Varadkar made the announcement that we were in lockdown. So what do you think happened? Every single phone call I got, Denise, I got to cancel. Because if you have a beauty salon and I'm doing your Instagram or your Facebook, you're not going to continue to pay me when your doors are closed. If you've got a restaurant and your doors are closed, if you've got a pub. So I lost 90% of my business overnight in 2020. Overnight. Yeah. It was a shit show. I cried for about a week. As I said, I had staff, I had an office and all the things. But I quickly was able to pivot. One thing that I did have left was my visibility and, of course, my knowledge. Yeah, not my grey hairs now, my knowledge. I had what I knew. Remember this, what you know is worth more than what you do, always. I had my knowledge. And now what did my customers have? They had loads of time. So I quickly launched my Authority Builder program. It was launched in March of 2020. So it's 5 years old this year. That's mad. So I quickly launched it and I pivoted and changed. And if anybody was listening, you'll remember at the start of this call, I said 2020 was one of my most profitable years. I turned over 120 grand that year, even after all that mayhem. Why? Because I had my visibility and I had my knowledge, and I was able to create programs that I knew people needed. I was able to solve a problem for people. I was able to make offers, and I didn't just do the Authority Builder with one offer. I had several different offers. Now, I did burn out at the end of the year. So don't do that part. But since then, I've gone on to create different streams of income in my business. And my point is, not that I'm suggesting another lockdown is coming or anything like it, but my point is having several streams of income within the business and different ways of dealing and servicing customers is a very good way of setting your business up for sustainability. Does that make sense? So be aware of that. Be aware of the different streams of income and be aware of the visibility piece as well. Getting visible on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn is one of the most profitable things you can do as a business owner. By building that personal brand, it means that you can create and launch a program, create and launch a product and sell it overnight because you have the visibility. Does that make sense, guys? Is this good information? Am I putting you asleep? Are we good? Are we good? Okay. This one is a little bit deep. This is Chad Thibodeau. He is a business coach of mine, and this is his profitable sales formula. So this is how we build out our programs, right? Or our courses. On the left-hand side is the problem, and on the right-hand side is the solution. So you're taking people from problem to solution. Now, I know it's 7:30 at night, so this is a little bit tricky. I don't do well with these type of text-based diagrams, being ADHD and all that, and dyslexic, but identify a problem in your marketplace. All right, number 1. See if there's an audience. Number 2, does it create emotional pain? The problem. And would your audience pay for it? Now, in answer to would your audience pay for it, in my opinion, or in my experience, an audience will pay for anything that will save their time, collapse time for them, bring them joy, you know, anything to do with health, anything to do with love, anything that will make them money, you know. So there's always people to buy. If you can solve a problem, there's always people to buy that solution. And then you got to create the solution in a product. Communicate the solution clearly in a syllabus. What does that mean? That means we've identified the problem in the market. We've figured out that there's an audience. We've decided that they're going to pay for it, right? That's one job done. Now let's jump to solution. What am I going to create? What's my solution? So what's the product? Is it an online course? Is it a masterclass? Is it a group coaching program? Is it an in-person course? Is it an in-person event? Is it a membership, a year-long membership? So come up with the solution that you're going to create and then communicate the syllabus. The syllabus is simply a list of what you will teach. That's all it is. You know, when you sign up for college, anyone who went to college, they give you a syllabus, don't they? They give you what you're going to learn on a piece of paper. To sell your first online course or program, all you need is the syllabus. So many of us are trying to sell it or trying to create it, and then we're spending hours and weeks recording modules. Don't do that. Because do you know what happens when we try to do that? We never launch. We never launch. There are so many online courses and programs in the entrepreneur's graveyard you would not believe. So many people procrastinating on them, trying to get the videos perfect. Oh, you know, like for instance, look at my lighting here. Is it perfect? No, I kind of look a little bit like I could be in a horror movie, you know? But if I was recording this and putting it in my shiny portal for my membership, I might go, oh, the lighting's not great. I'll re-record that. How many of us would do that? Yeah, we strive for perfection, but nobody needs it because you guys are listening to me. Do you give a flying crap what I look like? No. Does it matter? No. What matters is the information that's coming out of my mouth. What matters is the value that you're getting. Does that make sense? We've got to get clear on that. So once you've decided on what you're going to teach, you've put together a syllabus, the next thing is to test your audience. Find a small group of people and test. This is what we call the beta solution. Beta means introductory. So when I first launched the Authority Builder costs $4,000. But when I first launched it, I launched it for $997. That's that easy number, 997, that people sell everything on the internet for, you know, 997. And my goal was to get 10 women. Actually, it wasn't women at the time, it was business owners, regardless. I think in total over the 5 years, I've probably had 3 male authority builders, maybe 4 at a push of the whole 4 years or 5 years, which is why, yes, now it's a course for women or a program for women. But it was 997 because that's what felt comfortable for me. I launched it in beta mode, which meant I had nothing recorded, which meant I had a syllabus. I recorded as I went. And what did that do for me? It meant that if you watched, like one module would come out on the Monday, we'd have our meeting on the Wednesday. If you had a question that I could have answered in the recording, I made a note of it and said, okay, I'll do that in the next video. Does that make sense? I built it as I went. So people got lots of value from it. I launched like that a few times in the Authority Builder before I ever recorded and put the modules into the membership area. The Authority Builder creeped up in price as it went. Every 6 months, every year, the price went up and up and up until it settled at $4,000. Does that make sense, guys? Yeah. So you've got to be able and ready to, you know, pivot and move and make these decisions as we go. What we know is worth more than what we do. We only need, now here's the thing, earlier on I asked, was everybody experts? And, you know, some people said they weren't experts and a lot of people went, oh, quiet, and I saw you all hiding under your desk and everything. So you've got to realize that you only need to be a couple of steps ahead of your customer to help them out, to show them the way. Do you guys think that I'm an expert in this subject? Now, if anybody says no, I am kicking you right out of this Zoom pronto. You're gone. You're dead to me if you say no. You're dead to me. Yeah, right? But how or why? Because I freaking told you know? I say it all the time. I'm an expert. I'm an expert in helping business women make more money in their business. I put my hand up and I say it. Do you know why? Because I've learned that we got to pull our big girl on and we got to do it because no one's coming to save us. Years ago, when I went to my first event over in the States, I met a girl called Trish Lido. I absolutely love her now. Not that I didn't love her then, but I only just met her. And at the time I was doing social media for businesses. running my agency. My agency was really profitable, 6-figure agency at the time, doing great. Went to the States to this big marketing event, met this girl, but I was green when it came to networking and putting myself out there, and I was way less confident than I am now. So I walked up to her and she was like, "Hi, what do you do?" And I was like, social media, you know. That was it. I was kind of whispering because I was a bit shy. And she said, "Oh, well, I'm an expert in live video and I teach businesses how to make money using live video." And I was like, "Oh, that's what I do." It was literally what I was doing. I was using Facebook Live to help people do business, similar to what I do now. I was mortified because this girl literally said what I did, but said it with conviction and sounded like she was, you know, top of her game at it. So I thought to myself, oh my God, this woman is an absolute expert. I can learn from her, you know? So we were chatting at the event and we went for dinner, and further chatting, we're going through everything. And she said, I said to her, "So how long are you in business?" And she goes, "9 months." I was like, "Oh, so how long are you in marketing?" "Oh, just over a year now." Wait, what? I was literally standing in front of her at the time. This was like 6 years or whatever. I was probably about 18 or 19 years in marketing at that stage. I'm showing my age now, but all the way through my corporate marketing days and all the things. And I was standing there going, oh my God. So I literally made a decision right there and then that I would never do that again. From now on, I am an expert and I'm owning it. And you guys need to do the same. Yeah, it's time to step up and do it. Stop thinking that there are bigger experts out there than you, because of course there are, you know, but they're not you. People want you. People will resonate with you. They'll want to buy from you. So it's time to create your product. All right. So a lot of you might be tempted to do one-on-one, or you might already be doing one-on-one coaching, and that is fine. It's a great way of making some money. It's a great way of learning what we're doing and figuring it out. The different types of coaching or teaching types. So there's online or offline coaching, one-to-one, one to a few, or one-to-many. Okay, so one-to-one obviously is this, it's not this, but it's one-to-one, just me and somebody else on Zoom or in person. Generally, we can charge higher fees for that. But a lot of you guys might be stuck in lower fees teaching one-to-one. When we break away from one-to-one and we go to a small group, we can charge less to the person, but we can get more money for our hours work. Does that make sense? By creating a package, we're able to package up our services much better and we can make more money in our time. One-to-many, we can charge even less. So one-to-few is a group coaching program. Like my Authority Builder is a group coaching program. I'll only ever have like 6, 7, 8 women in it at one go, because I want to see them all on Zoom and I want to be able to answer all their questions. If I have more people, they go in a different group. Does that make sense? That's one-to-few. One-to-many is an online course where I can record the modules and I can email them to you, or I can put them in a Facebook group and you can go and watch them. You get less of me, less touch points. You don't get to call me or WhatsApp me or ask your questions as much, but you have access to my teaching. Does that make sense? So you pay a lot less. So get clear on what you want to offer. A lot of times that can come down to your audience as well. I worked with a girl called Neve and she had a huge audience. So she came to me and she already had 35,000 followers on Instagram. And she was like, I was like, oh my God, you have loads of followers. She's like, yeah, but I'm not making any money. Like she was making zero money and she had all these followers. So in that sense, it was very easy to create a lower end masterclass. So remember what I said about my training for €47. Imagine if I had 35,000 followers and I launched a 50 quid product. What happens? That money racks up. So she was easily able to tap into her audience by creating a series of 50 quid masterclasses, launching once a month out on our website, making them evergreen, which meant they sat on our website forever and you could buy them when you wanted. She wasn't long hitting 6 figures because she already had the audience. Now, a lot of people coming into the Authority Builder don't have an audience. They have to grow that as well. So if you're one of the people who don't have a big audience at the moment, then you get to charge higher ticket. Create your own course or program where you're going to teach 6 people or 10 people, and you can charge them more and make more money from that. Does that make sense? Introducing a group program is as easy as deciding what you're teaching and doing it. And I know that sounds simple. Caroline, you've said how to create and paint for your online course of membership. I'm going to blow your mind, right, with some of the stuff that artists are doing. I was talking to a woman in Vegas. I was in Vegas a few weeks ago. And if you didn't see me, I was there, you know. The kids were slagging me. Luke says he said to his teacher on one of the mornings he was going into school, he says to his teacher, my mom's in Vegas working, but like she sent me a video last night to me and my dad of her in a limo. I was like, oops. He's going around telling the teachers. But anyway, it was great crack. There was a woman there that I spoke to, and I'm not joking you when I say that she has made hundreds of thousands reoccurring income into a membership. People pay her $40 a month to be in our membership. And she teaches, get this, she teaches, this is so specific, how to draw realistic animals with coloring pencils. How, you know, how niche is that? Like, how targeted is that? And she's like got hundreds of people in this membership. Blows my mind. And most of us are thinking we have to do everything. I work with another artist, Caroline, and I'm trying to get her to go much more niche because she's doing classes, but her end goal is she wants to do retreats for adults, for women, and painting retreats and all. And I said, well, why are you over here teaching kids? You know, I'm not saying you have to get rid of the kids, you know, kick them, but start marketing the women, market the women if that's the end goal. So we've got to think what our Rome is. All roads lead to Rome. So what is our end goal for people? Does that make sense? Do you want a lower end mastermind or membership where people are paying you like the drawing woman? People are paying you, you know, 50 quid a month, and you just have to create one class like this, say once a month. Done. And then you run them into a community like a Facebook group where they can interact with each other and share their drawings or share their... That's a lower end masterclass. It's less touch points for you because you just create one teaching every month. Or maybe it's one a week and that's more expensive. Or maybe you're going to coach them, you're going to get them on Zoom and talk to them and let them, and that's more expensive. Does that make sense? So the more touch points there is for you, the more expensive the online course or program gets to be. Make sense? Yeah. And open your mind, guys, that what you can teach, because there's so much out there, and you get to be as niche as you want. There's two women I always talk about called Twisted Sisterhood. Look them up. They teach people how to make balloon animals. They have a membership that they've made millions of. They now sell, like, you know, jumpers with balloon animals on them and everything. Like, it blow your mind. There's so many subscription models, so many memberships out there. We are not tapping into them. I always say this, I bought a silly sock one for Sophie for Christmas. €15 a month, and she gets a pair of socks delivered into the house once a month. I could buy her 10 pairs of socks in pennies for that, you know, but she likes what did I buy? Did I buy the socks or did I buy the experience? Did I buy the feeling of something coming through the door? Did I buy her face when she opens up the funny socks? Absolutely. Make sense? Sell the feeling. All right. So when we move to group coaching, we can teach more people in that hour, and therefore we can up our revenue. We can also help more people, but how? Okay, so want to get out of your own way and try my Launch It Ugly strategy. Step 1, what is the problem that you will solve? Now, guys, I'm recording this, so I will send you an email after this with the recording so that you'll have, because there's 10 steps here, so you don't have to write them all down. Does that make sense? But after this call, I'd love to stay here with you for hours, but we'll be done in like 15. But I would stay here all day and workshop this with you. I'd love to. But do that yourself in your own time. Like, go to the slides. Okay, what is the problem that it's going to solve? Is it going to bring someone joy? Is it going to teach them a skill? Can they make money from the skill that you're teaching them? Is it going to bring them more health? Is it going to show them they're loved? Whatever it is. Step number 2, what's the pathway? Remember, we're not selling the pathway, but you need to know what it is. How are you going to get them there? How many classes are you going to do? How is it going to be delivered? Number 3 is, what's the desired outcome? This is the important one. What are they buying? Yeah. Number 4, you need a catchy name, guys. Even if you are still, if you're only launching as a coach or a consultant and you're still doing one-on-ones and you're selling one-on-ones, you please don't sell one-on-ones. Sell a breakthrough clarity session. I have one called my Yellow Brick Road. So it's, the pathway to success. Jump on Zoom with me and I'll give you clarity and a pathway to follow to success. So it's my Yellow Brick Road session. Does that make sense? Not one-on-one, because it's so fucking boring. Do you want to buy a one-on-one hour of my time? It's boring. Sell a result. Sell something that they want, a desired outcome. So come up with a catchy name. Step number 5, remember the syllabus that I talked about? Step by step, what you're going to teach them. If it's going to be a membership, if it's going to be a year-long membership, 12 modules, 1 module a month, done. Yeah? Or maybe it's weekly modules, or maybe it's one umbrella subject for the month with 4 mini classes, so 1 a week. See what I mean? I'm currently teaching florists at the moment in the Show Up and Shine florist video training at the moment. It's a 20-day training. They get bite-sized trainings every morning. So every morning in the Facebook group, they get a 5-minute video to take action on. Like today's video was how to create a remix reel on Instagram. Yesterday's video was how to create and edit your first reel. Does that make sense? Every day they get a little bite-sized chunk. They don't get me coaching them. They don't get me answering. Like of course I'll answer questions, but not all the time and not on my phone or anything, because it's a lower end membership. It's just a 20-day thing. But what is it? It's a lead magnet as well, because the chances of I've 17 people in there, so the chances of some of them then coming into the Authority Builder or into Kickstart Your Authority will be quite high. Does that make sense? So remember, all roads lead to Rome. So create your syllabus. Step number 6, decide on the process. How will you deliver your course or your program? Step number 7, prime your socials for launch. So many of you are over there creating and working on something and you're ignoring your socials. And then you're saying to yourself, oh, when I have this ready, I'll get out on my social. No. Start to tease on your social. Start to talk about stuff in and around it. Start to kind of put stuff up related to it. Warm us up. Get consistent on your social media. One of my florists said the other day, she was like, oh my God, I made a sale for a wedding. She bought this product, like it's €88 for this 20-day training thing that I've done, €88. And she just signed a bloody wedding. That's a return. It's amazing. She says, I don't know what it is. It's like, I've posted before on my socials and not got these results. I said, you know what it is? You've posted every day for the last week and a half. People are starting to notice. They have to see you consistently. If you're posting once a week, it's too little. But they've forgotten about you by the time the next post comes out. You got to prime your socials. You got to get consistent. You got to know who you're talking to and the problem you're solving for people. Yeah. Number 8 is, how will you sell? You got to come up with a system. Instagram stories is a great place to sell. A webinar. This is a webinar. In the DMs. Create your strategy of how you're going to sell your course or program. Get clear on that. Start to shout about it on socials is step 9. You've already primed them. Once it's ready and you know what you're selling, start to get it out there. Do not. One of my Authority Builder clients the other day said to me, I said to her, is your event going ahead? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, I've only seen one post on Instagram about it. And she's like, yeah, but I put it up there. Yeah, you did. Put it up again and again and again, because you can't assume that people have seen it. Even my own sister, she runs a dance school, and she says to me, oh, I put that on Facebook. And I was like, just because you put it on Facebook doesn't mean I saw it, A tiny little percentage of our followers see what we post. We've got to post consistently. We've got to shout about our offers. Yeah. And step number 10 is launch in beta, introductory. Do not wait for everything to be ready. Yeah. Don't be afraid to just get out there and post it. Get out there and launch it. Charge less for it. If you're going to charge $1,000 for it, eventually say, I'm putting this out there the first time for 200 quid. I'm taking 5 people. Beta. Does that make sense? Yeah. So let me help you with all of this. I would love to continue this work with you. How many of you feel like this is like definitely something that you'd love to do, that you'd love to create your program, you'd love to make more money in your business? Give me a yes in the comments if you're thinking, yeah. Louise and Leanne, I know you two are a yes, since you're already authority builders. They're already in my program. Creating their stuff. Caroline says me. Yeah. Claire's yeah. Yeah. Guys, I would love to continue to talk to you about this. Stop waiting until everything is sorted before you launch. Stop second guessing yourself. I know you can do it. So this is Elaine, right? Elaine joined the Authority Builder in April last year. She had a successful teaching business, but was burning herself out because all her classes were one-to-one on Zoom or one-to-one in person. The first thing I had Elaine do was increase her prices, right? Increase her prices of her classes. By upping her classes by just a few euro, she added 200 to her weekly take-home pay. And this was week 1 of the Authority Builder. So 200 quid to her weekly. Yeah. So she'd already covered the price of the Authority Builder, basically, because that was something like 8 grand by the end of the year. Oh, the next thing then that we worked on was introducing group sessions, like what I've been talking about here. So she started to move people into groups, both offline and online, and buying back her time from those one-on-ones. So this came in from Elaine on Monday, the 20th of January. Hi, Denise, how are you? Hope all is good. Just wanted to let you know that I've done the numbers and I looked at my projected business growth figure this year, and it's almost doubled since before I worked with you. I have moved to more group sessions and I now have 54% of my students in groups. I'm moving towards the business model I want. Thank you for giving me the belief in myself that I could do it. Like, how cool is that? It's amazing. She's bought back her time and she's working less hours. So how many of you would want this? How would you like to buy back some of your time? It's definitely a reality for you. I know that you're working too hard. I know that you're paying yourself less, and I know that you feel guilty that you don't get enough time with your friends and family. How do I know? Because I was you. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the Authority Builder, if that's okay. 2 minutes is all I need. I want to talk about your next steps. The Authority Builder works on building your credibility, your visibility, your assets, your pricing, and your confidence. And all of these 5 things together help you create a more profitable business, because it gives you more followers around exactly what you're selling, and you have assets to sell. And of course, your pricing can get increased as well, so that you're making more money. Everything that you need to grow your following so that you can build more revenue and buy back your time so that you can spend more time doing what you love. So here's the outcome. The outcome of the Authority Builder: omnipresence online. So you're showing up all over the place, but you have a clear system so that it's not taking all of your time. Setting up your social channels and growing those followings. Clients and customers finding you for free. Building your confidence, creating habits and discipline around your marketing, and creating your own online course or program or membership. Building that profitable business without burning yourself out. Guys, sales are a direct result of our marketing. Sales are a direct result of our marketing. So if you're kind of sitting there and going, oh, sales aren't great. I was talking to a girl this morning, she's like, oh, sales aren't great. And I was like, okay, what are we doing to market? What are you doing to get those sales? They're a direct result. So you get access to me live on Zoom every week. We have a group coaching call. You also have access to me on WhatsApp to ask your questions. You get some one-on-one sessions as well as the group ones, and then you get the recorded trainings. Recorded trainings is a step-by-step process that you get to go through the 12 weeks. It's 12 weeks of working with me. You get to join a Facebook group with like-minded business owners, network, support, and encourage each other. You get the Authority Builder brand new workbook and a welcome pack in the mail, which is what I'm working on at the minute. I'm literally just building it, so you'll get that. You want to build your dream business while building your dream life. So the Authority Builder is a proven process that works, guys, but it only works if you do. The Authority Builder is for you if you're ready to take action. If you know that you're meant for more, but you need a bit of guidance getting there. So pricing. The Authority Builder, of course, could sell for 10 grand, but I'm not going to charge you 10 grand. When you look at the results that people are getting, like if I look at Elaine there, and the money that she has made back in her business. So she's heading for 6 figures. She's delighted. Her business is going to hit 6 figures this year. And that will be the first time ever she's come even close to that. She's been like less than half of that previous. So imagine if you could build this out. Imagine if it just helped you get 1 or 2 more clients a week. Imagine if you could create your online course. The price for the Authority Builder program for the 12 weeks is $3,997. If you signed 1 client per week for for those 12 weeks, would it be worth it? Or if you created and launched, one of my artist clients, she is doing a 10-week program for women, and she's charging 200 quid for it. And she's taken 10 women. She sells 10 places, she's made 2 grand. Does that make sense, guys? So you've got to look at it in silly maths, as so far as I invest this and this is what I'm going to build, and make it pay for itself. Make it pay for itself. So today I want to launch a one-on-one price. So a pay in full option of 3333. So this is an angel number. I introduced this a few weeks ago, or a few months ago. And it was my first time I'd ever done it, because I have never really been into angel numbers before. But it kind of, that number just stuck out for me, and I actually love it. But I do have to look up and remember what it says. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to get my calendar. So 3333, angel number means, angel number means powerful symbol of personal growth, transformation, and expansion. Like, what the heck, Aruni? That's a good number. That is a good number. So guys, the way this works is I want to work with every single one of you. There is the Authority Builder, but I do have other programs as well. If I've lit a bit of a fire in your belly and you're thinking, okay, this was deadly, but I just don't know if I'm ready to be an Authority Builder yet, or maybe it's the revenue, you know, maybe it's the money, or whatever the case may be, or maybe you just don't feel ready for whatever reason. So what I want to offer to you guys is I'm offering like a free call. So here is my link, and I call it Kickstart Your Success Call. And on this, I'm gonna ask you to book in. So everybody book in if we haven't talked before. If you're an Authority Builder, obviously you don't need to book in. If you're in my programs already, you don't need to. But book in for your Kickstart Your Success call. On the call, I will go to your Instagram and I will give you points there and then that you can fix and change. So even if that's all that happens on the call, it'll be worth it for you. Yeah. So I'll give you some pointers. I'll give you some tips and tricks that you can change. And then we can chat about whether the Authority Builder is a good fit for you. If the Authority Builder isn't a good fit for you, I do have Kickstart Your Authority, which is a pure social media side of things. That's for building the visibility. That's a 6-week program and it's $997. So it's a fraction of the price of the Authority Builder. It will help you grow your following on Instagram, grow your following on TikTok, on Facebook, wherever the case may be. So they're 2 very different programs for very different business women at different stages. Does that make sense? The Authority Builder includes all of the social media side of things as well. It's more business development. It's all more around pricing and creating your assets. So please book in. And I'm actually not going anywhere until you've all booked in. I'm going to sit here. Hazel says, Denise, my plan already discussed. Yes, Hazel, lovely to see you here. I actually didn't see you earlier on. Good to see you. And yes, looking forward to working with you more. So guys, make sure Sharon, Joan, Claire, Caroline, Deirdre, Natalie, book in. Yeah, book in and let's chat. Let me help you go forward in success. And there's absolutely no obligation to buy on the call either. Do you know what I mean? So book in and let's see how I can help you through everything that you're going through, or wherever you want to get, or what your business goals are. The way I like to work at is I'll ask you what your goals are, both revenue and in business, and then I'll help you reverse engineer it and a plan to get there. Does that make sense? Like some of my clients would be working on setting up their summer for success, you know, working on different hours. So that's something I'm working on myself as well. Like I'm going to be in the summer, I'm going to be doing my 6 a.m. starts, but I'm going to do 6 a.m. starts straight into work. Instead of at the moment, I do 6 a.m. starts with my mindset stuff, but I'm going to do 6 a.m. starts straight into work so that I'm finished work by about 10 in the morning and probably done. Yeah. So I can spend more time with Sprogs in the summer. Make sense? So it's all about setting your business up for success in and around things that you love to do. If you love to sea swim, if you love to play football like me, if you love to hang out with your friends, hang out with your husband, your wife, your granny, your dog, whatever the case may be. Make sense? Has anybody booked in yet? Has anybody not booked in? You're booked in, Caroline. Good woman. Deirdre, did you book in? Natalie, did you? Sharon, Joan, Claire, book in, book in. Link is open and ready. Love it, love it, love it. You're like me. I have to open the link and then leave it, and then I have to get quiet. When I shut up, you'll be able to book in. Is that right? Yeah. I'm like that as well. I'd be like, oh, wait, I need quiet. Guys, thank you so much. Oh, Deirdre, you're trying to book in April. Dropping off bedtime's calling here. Yeah. Deirdre, let me open up. I've had this time with you already. I learned so much at the start of my journey. So now I'm working on I'm still working full-time slowly. Oh, brilliant, Sharon. Brilliant. Yes, I remember now. I didn't see your face, but I remember. Guys, thank you for being here. All right. I hope you enjoyed it. Deirdre, you're trying to book in for April. I'll message you. Will you send me a message are you connected with me on Instagram? Yeah. Yeah, message me on Instagram and I'll open up some time in April for you. And you can book that in. Guys, thanks for being here. Sorry I kept you a little bit longer than I thought I would. I hope you enjoyed it. Did you find it interesting? Valuable? Yeah. Amazing. Excellent as that. Oh, thanks, guys. Big love, my friends. And I look forward to chatting to you guys on the calls. And if you haven't booked in, and I'll chat to you later.
Thanks a million. Bye-bye.
Bye, Caroline. Bye, Louise. Bye, Natalie. Bye, Deirdre. Bye, Sharon.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.